7. And row 7 starts with a 4 patch. So I'm going to just take a little piece of paper and I'm going to label it row 7. Okay. Then I'm going to take this little piece of paper and I'm going to pin it right here. Because that's going to tell me, I always start from the left and work over. I like starting on the left side. So I'm going to pin that to the center, and then that way it won't get in the way. Okay, that's my first one. Then I'm going to take this and I'm just going to slide it to the left, and there's my second 4 patch. I'm going to flip it over, and I'm going to pin it down. Okay, grab a pin, and here we go. Then I'm going to take this one and I'm going to fold this one back like this. I'm going to take my next one and I'm just going to flip that one over. Line it up, and I'm not absolutely perfect at lining them up because I'm going to line them up again when I get them to the machine. And if I have problems with it and it's not squaring up, I'm going to see it now and then I will get it fixed right away. So I'll flip that one over. I'm going to move these aside. Oop. And now I'm going to put this one on. See how simple it is? You just have to do it one at a time so that you don't get confused. And when you're stacking them one on top of the other, you have to keep with the same way to do it. I always start at the left and work to my right so that I have everything lined up the way I want it to be. So there's that one. Now my next one. And then my very, very last one. Pin on. Oh, and an extra pin there from my design wall. And now here's my last one. So that one's going on. Okay, that's how I pin them. Now I'm going to draw you a picture. Let's see if I can. I'm going to get a piece of paper and I'm going to draw you a picture. This is my strip sewn. I've already sewn my blocks into groups of 2. So I sewed a solid 1 big block to a 4 patch on every single one. So I have my big block and my 4 patch. So every single block is 2 long. So I have in my thing, I have 12, so I have 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. I have 6 seams, so there's the end of my quilt. Let me get rid of this for you. All right, so I've got 6 full seams, and hopefully you can see them here. So this is what I'm going to do. And I can't write upside down because I'm just not that good. I'm going to sew this one first. So this is going to be 1. All right. Then I'm going to come all the way down here and I'm going to sew this one next. This is number 2. Got me? Then I'm going to come here and I'm going to sew 3. Then I'm going to come here and I'm going to sew 4. All right. Then I'm going to come here. I'm going to sew 5. Okay. Then I'm going to go here and I'm going to go 6. What's going to happen by doing it this way is I'm never going to have to cut my seam until I'm all done with that row. So remember, I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I will have all of my seams sewn together that way. Pretty easy, isn't it? Next, I'm going to show you how I'm going to go about pressing them and putting my rows together. We are going to continue, and right now I am working on sewing my rows together. I showed you a few minutes ago how to get the blocks made into rows. Now we're going to sew our rows together. And you can see I have row 1, then I have row 2. And this is how I did it. I want to show you this up close. I pinned very carefully my 2 blocks. I matched up my seams very carefully. I pinned them. I'm going to sew this way. So I'm going to pin them right there so that it pushes the 2 seams together to one. And I did that on both of them. You see both. Then I just laid it flat and I pinned in the center where that one seam is. And now I'm just going to start stitching my rows. I'm going to keep doing it in exactly that manner. And then once I get my rows sewn together, then I am going to press them after I attach each row. And that will give me a minute to double check and make sure that my little sticky note, my little note right here is pinned to the center of my block. It's out of the way of ironing, and it will help me to match up all of my seams and make sure that my rows are going together in the exact order that I want them in. So that's what we're going to do today. All right, at this point I've got row 1, row 2, row 3, and now I'm going to press row 4. Now remember, I've got a plastic pin right there, so I've got to be careful. The head of the pin is. So the first thing I'm going to do is set my seams. Make sure I get them set good. Just go right on down setting them. And I catch any one that's not quite flat. Like you could see that one, it wasn't quite flat. So I'll catch those as I go down. Just keep right on going. Flatten it out a little bit. Alright, so now that I've gotten all of my seams set, there's another one that needs a little bit of fold over. I'm just going to bring my fabric like this and just press it right over. And then what happens, I'm going to turn it over. You can see my seam just presses very nicely to one side. So I'm going to do that. And then I'm just going to keep right on going, trying to get my quilt put together. So I'm very excited with the way it's turning out. I think it is just going to be adorable. So here we go. Getting it done. Takes me a few minutes, but I'm getting through it. Here it is. Isn't that neat? Really, it's not a lot to do. I just like to get it pressed as I go, just because I think it makes it easier. When I'm all done, I can just take it off, press over the very last row, and then I can just give the top a really good press, and then I get it either ready to be put away into the box of my things that have to be quilted, or I get it put right onto the long arm as soon as I possibly can. So that's it. Isn't that easy? So there's my quilt at this stage. And I'm very happy with the way it's coming out. I think it's really cute. Here's a good block that needs a good press while I'm on this side. So there I go, it's all ready. Thank you so much for joining me today while I started putting together Olivia's quilt. And I'm really excited with the way it's turning out. And it won't be long now, and I'll be able to get pictures of it hanging with the complete quilt top done. I've got a thread hanging through. And I can't wait to see what yours looks like. So thank you so much for joining me today, and I'll see you again really soon. Bye.